News Bulletin, weather forecast for the United States. Good day to you, our valued viewers. You are watching today's weather news forecast. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the rarest phenomena of the entire year is about to unfold across the United States. An exceptionally strong cold air mass from Canada is forecast to surge southward, blanketing much of the northern and eastern U.S. This will drive temperatures down by as much as 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit below seasonal averages in many states. This unusual cold snap is expected to shatter numerous temperature records, turning what is normally a warm, late summer week into days that feel more like late autumn or early winter. Residents across the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the East Coast will experience an unusual chill, while the South and the Gulf Coast continue to face severe thunderstorms, flooding, flash floods, and other extreme weather risks. At present, most of the country is relatively calm, especially along the East Coast, where no tropical storms or major hazardous weather have been recorded in recent days. However, the picture looks entirely different in the South and West. In Texas and Louisiana, showers and thunderstorms are persisting, disrupting daily life and outdoor sporting events. The primary driver is a high-pressure system anchored over southern Texas and Mexico, pulling in moisture from the Pacific and fueling repeated rounds of storm activity. Forecasters say this situation will persist in the coming days, keeping the risk of flash flooding and localized inundation high across southern states. What meteorologists are highlighting with particular urgency is that immediately after the Labor Day holiday, a powerful low-pressure system will form over the Great Lakes. At the same time, an unusually strong northwesterly flow from Canada will push a massive cold air mass into the United States. This cold surge will wrap around the low, spreading across the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and eventually expanding eastward. Experts emphasize that this kind of atmospheric pattern usually doesn't appear until October or November. For it to strike in early September is extremely rare. The last comparable events occurred about a decade ago, in 2013 and 2014. In the coming days, temperatures across the northern tier of the country will plunge dramatically, with some areas running 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit below average. In Minnesota and Wisconsin, overnight lows could flirt with the freezing mark, while daytime highs may not exceed the 40s or 50s degree F, about 4 to 10 degrees Celsius. Factoring in wind chill, residents could feel as though it were only 25 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit, around -2 to 0 degrees Celsius, evoking a late October chill. Statistics suggest that on Wednesday and Thursday alone, 30 to 40 new daily record lows could be set. Some locations may even see frost or a thin glaze of ice in the very first week of September, an extraordinary rarity in U.S. weather history. Breaking the outlook down by region. The Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin will bear the brunt. Nighttime lows will dip into the 30s to 40s degree F, with some areas below freezing, while daytime highs remain only in the 40s to 50s degree F. Widespread frost is expected midweek, potentially damaging crops. The Ohio Valley and Northeast will also feel the chill, with temperatures 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit below normal, overcast skies, and scattered showers. By late week, states such as Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York may log new record lows. The South and Gulf Coast will be less affected by the cold, temperatures dropping only a few degrees, but thunderstorms will remain persistent due to tropical moisture interacting with low pressure. Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi in particular face a continued threat of flash floods. The western U.S. will experience the opposite extreme, with California, Nevada, and Arizona enduring relentless heat. Highs above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 degrees Celsius, are expected in many locations. Daily breakdown. Monday, September 1st. Near normal conditions persist nationwide. 60s to 70s degree F in the north, 85 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit in the south, and 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the west. With rain mainly in Texas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma. Tuesday, cold air begins to filter south. Dakotas and Minnesota wake to lows in the mid-40s degree F, with daytime highs struggling to reach 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Wednesday, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan drop sharply. Daytime highs only in the 40s to 50s degree F. Nighttime lows near freezing. Thursday, the coldest day of the week. Overnight lows 30 to 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind chills in the mid-20s degree F. Daytime highs no more than the mid-40s degree F. Frost becomes widespread, threatening crops. Friday, a slight moderation, but still below average by several degrees. Saturday, reinforcement of cold air arrives. Nebraska and nearby states may see nighttime freezes below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Waterspouts are possible over the Great Lakes. Sunday, no major change. Cold persists across the north and east, while Florida and the west remain hot and dry. Wind chill will be a critical factor. While thermometers may read 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, gusty northerly winds will make it feel closer to 20 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. By Thursday and Friday mornings, many areas will feel like the onset of winter, forcing residents to bundle up in clothing normally reserved for November. This cold outbreak also brings multiple hazards. Frost and ice could harm agriculture. Clashes between cold and warm air masses may spark severe storms, including hail and tornadoes. The Great Lakes region could even see waterspouts due to sharp temperature contrasts between relatively warm lake waters and the frigid air above. In the south, especially Texas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma, rainfall totals may reach 3 to 6 inches in just a few days, raising the threat of flash floods. Over the next 7 to 10 days, cold air will remain entrenched east of the Rockies. The Midwest and North will stay much colder than normal, with repeated frosts overnight. The East Coast will also endure unseasonable chill, possibly setting additional records. The Southeast and Gulf Coast will stay relatively mild but damp with scattered storms. Meanwhile, the West bakes under relentless heat exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit. While the U.S. mainland faces this rare early September chill, the Atlantic Ocean remains unusually quiet. For the next 7 to 10 days, no tropical cyclones are expected to directly threaten the U.S. mainland. However, a band of convection moving off West Africa could develop into a storm within about 10 days, potentially approaching the Lesser Antilles. Meteorologists warn that by mid to late September, the Atlantic hurricane season may grow more active, bringing a heightened risk of strong storms along coastal areas. In summary, the United States is about to experience one of the rarest early September cold events in decades. Northern states could plunge 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit below normal, with dozens of new cold records likely. Residents of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the East Coast should prepare for unseasonable cold. Protect crops, and ensure that children and the elderly stay warm. Meanwhile, the South continues to battle flooding rains. The Great Lakes may witness rare waterspouts, and the Atlantic, while calm for now, could stir again later this month. That concludes today's weather news forecast. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to receive the latest updates. We wish you a safe and peaceful week ahead. Goodbye, and see you next time.